In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Black Series, The Child from the Mandalorian. Hi there, Star Wars collectors. Welcome to another Bossk's Bounty video and welcome to our review of The Child from the Mandalorian. It is the Black Series figure and of course it is supposedly in 6-inch scale, and we're going to check that out to make sure or to see if it is actually 6-inch scale, because I've got a 3.75-inch figure there and a 6-inch figure there from the Mandalorian, and we're going to see which one it looks better with. I do have my son with me today because he loves the Mandalorian and he does love the Baby Yoda, or the Child as it's more commonly known as these days. And so he's going to be taking us through the figure when we first get it out of the box. But first of all, let's take a look at the packaging. So we'll just get rid of these figures out of the way. So there we go, very, very small packaging and very much like the Porgs that came out in the Black Series. Similar box, but this one is actually a tiny bit smaller. You can see on the side there, no number in the line, and it does have the Child. Loads of legal gumph on the back, nothing else at all. The Child on the side. And as you can see there, we've got the Mandalorian, the Child, Disney and Hasbro logo. Tiny little box. We're going to get the figure out now, and my son is going to talk about what he thinks of the Baby Yoda.
This is the smallest figure from my collection. I love the Mandalorian and I especially love the Baby Yoda, and he's so tiny.
He is very, very small, isn't he? And what do you think about the articulation of the figure, Harry? Have you had any problems with the figure so far?
The problem is
this arm, were you going to say?
Yeah, that arm keeps coming off.
Yeah, so I'm going to just hold the Baby Yoda now just to see. Obviously, I've got bigger hands, so it's easier for my son to hold him to show you. But this arm here, it does articulate, and when you move it, it's on like a ball, and it does very easily pop out. So you do need to be careful about that. I think the more and more you move that hand, the more it's, or that arm rather, the more it's going to fall out and the looser it's going to become. But it is very cool because obviously when you have it like that, he does look like he's using the force of his little hand there. Also articulated is his hands. His hands do swivel inside that arm. The arm does move there. This arm moves as well, as you can see, and also this hand as well. And of course the head is on a little ball joint there, and you can get plenty of movement there, so you can really get him in those poses throughout the show where he's looking down into his blanket type thing there, his little robe, or his head's lifted up like that. He also does have feet on the bottom of his robe, and as you can see, they are even articulated as well. They do move very, very slightly. I'm not sure why you'd really want to do that, but it is pretty cool that they went into that much detail with the Baby Yoda. But you love him, don't you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he is great. Now, I did want to talk about the size of the figure because it is supposedly a 6-inch figure. And we're going to get Cara Dune now to take a look at how it looks stacked up against a actual 6-inch figure. So we're going to hold him like she may do in the show, like that, which is pretty cool. And you may think there that looks pretty much in scale, and I think they've done a pretty good job. But I also feel that the figure just as looks good with a 3.75-inch figure as well, which I'll show you with the Mandalorian in a second. But I think the head potentially is maybe on the small scale. If I just can throw up an image here that I've got of Cara Dune, you do see that the head in the show is slightly bigger and in more proportion with a human. You'll see what I mean when you see the image, but that's not taking anything away from the Baby Yoda figure. It is a very nice figure indeed. And this is what I was going to show you about with the Mandalorian. If you can just imagine the Child walking around on the ground, and then you've got the Mandalorian standing next to him. He comes up to about his knee, and I would say that that's not too far off either from the real scale in the show. So if you were to get this 3.75-inch Mandalorian figure to hold the Baby Yoda, perhaps when he's carrying him in the show maybe, you can see that perhaps he is maybe slightly a little bit too big, but I don't think there's too much difference there. I think the Baby Yoda figure is perhaps in between the two scales, which is pretty decent. We'll have to see exactly how that pans out when the child is released in a 3.75 inch scale, so I'm sure it will be eventually, hopefully with a Queel figure or something like that. But I don't think if you had the 3.75 inch Mandalorian and this 6-inch child, I don't think it's going to look too out of place on display, or if you're playing with it, if you're a little kid or something. I know my son absolutely loves this thing. He's been playing with it all day already. So with either of these, whether you've got a 6-inch figure or a 3.75, I think the Baby Yoda goes with both quite nicely. Oops. You also do get some accessories, which Harry's going to tell you about now.
So the Baby Yoda comes with a little frog, and also from chapter 4 it comes with the little mug, and
what's that for? His soup?
Yeah.
His soup, okay. And what's that little thing at the top?
So in any of the Mandalorians, I can't remember which one, but that's the ball that goes with the joystick, and he kind of like plays with it on his ship.
Yeah, the little gear stick handle, isn't it? The little knob. Now, what we would say about this is that that little ball there is tiny, and if you were to take all of these accessories out of the case like that, then that little ball there is going to get lost very, very easily. So I think it's very nice that they've put it in a little clear box like that, so if you wanted to keep it on display, then you can. Obviously my son is probably going to keep it like this, maybe open it now and again to get the frog out, but you don't really want to lose that, do you?
I usually just keep the bowl and the little ball in there because they're one of the tiniest things, so I don't want to lose them, but I'll probably just get to open that to get the frog out.
Yeah. Alright then guys, so let me know what you think of the Baby Yoda figure, and also let me know in the comments section what you think about the scale of that. Do you agree with me that I think that the figure itself, when we bring that up now, the figure itself could potentially be for either scales? I think it's a little bit in between. I don't think it's truly the size of a Black Series, if I'm honest, but not small enough to be a 3.75 inch either. So I think it's somewhere in between. Let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you very much for watching as always. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and we shall see you on the next one.
Bye!